The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the May 7th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there's having a great day. Yeah, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, send it to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we're beginning our day with a bit of a mixed bag out there. You've got the Dow up 151. The S&P is flat. NASDAQ 100 off 56. Russell's up 3. Transport's up 77. Semis down 19. NASDAQ off 57. You've got gold that's trading out at $33.94. That's off $28. Silver's down 60 cents, printing at $32.51. Light Sweet Crude is flat at $59.10. Natural gas up 18 cents. As we take a look at, but first of all, I want to say this. I just heard at the very end of Basil's show where he said, hey, on Fed Day, typically if you got the market that moves in one direction or the other, as we start to approach that 2 o'clock time frame, things start to consolidate back towards almost a flattish type of a day out there. Doesn't have to be totally flat, but I'm in total agreement with that out there. So where the real fireworks might start is around the 2:30, 3 o'clock time frame. I assume he's doing a presser today as well. So the release of the decision of not decreasing interest rates or anything, that comes out at 2 o'clock. That's what it's going to say. So we know that's the likely outcome. And then it's just going to be the Q&A period out there that could move markets one way or the other. If we take a look at, I'm just using right now my Ninja Trader system. I'll just see if it speeds things up just a tad. Last couple of shows, I like it when it's a little bit speedy, if you will. So here what we can see, we've got a number of different TD9. When you see a star in the TD9 count, that tells you you've got a TD9 count pattern out there. These are TD9 count tops. The Dow Jones was the one that was, we'll take a look at it via the diamonds out here. Let's do that. Let's put the diamonds up. They confirmed a TD9 count top yesterday. They're completing that pattern today. Remember, the high can come on the bar following bar number 9. In the case of the Dow Diamonds, the high is on bar number 8 as we speak just yet. Now, and if you take a look at the Dow Diamonds, and we'll take a look at the equity future contracts as well, we've got all kinds of new profiles out here. So in the case of the Dow Diamonds, this profile has a support at the 405.79 level and resists at 414.44. So you've got a daily by the D point pattern, you've got a weekly TD9 count, and by the D point pattern, you got the monthly chart. That's the one that's a little bit suspect out here. But if price can close back above at the end of the month, the bottom of its profile, which is at 410.38, we're at 410.17 right now, then it would suggest that last month's move in the Dow Diamonds, when we take a look at these charts here, was a false breakdown out there. 30-minute time frame chart really not provide us with a ton of information, but we've got TD9 counts across the board. So the question is the market going to top? Well, if the market is going to top out here of any significance, there are two things that I know that we will see most certainly. And those two things are, we'll see the spot VIX index trade above the 50-day exponential moving average. The 50-day exponential moving average is at 25.73. It's that gold line on my right-hand chart out there. We've got a TD9 count bottom. that is in here. We can see the last time we had a TD9 count bottom, that led to the gigantic, ginormous move inside the spot VIX that took things into contango up to the high on April 7th, which obviously is the low that we've got inside the markets out here for most of the indices out here. Most, not every single one, but most of the indices. So what should really unfold here, and this would be no surprise, is that when you get a bottom pattern or topping pattern, in this case here with the spot VIX with the bottom, what it really should be able to do is get up to the 50-day exponential moving average. That's at 2573. So maybe that happens today. And if that does, we'll see the S&P 500 trade lower. If it trades lower, does that mean it's over? It does not. Not until we see 2 consecutive closes above that 50-day exponential moving average. So that was one thing that we would need to see. Even if the spot VIX index is trading above or closes above the 50-day exponential moving average, it needs a second ingredient. Otherwise, it doesn't make for a very good sandwich out there. And that second ingredient that it needs that advanced decline oscillator to be below the zero threshold level. Right now, we're at 133.78. We have, to a certain extent, worked off the overbought conditions that were present for the last maybe 5-6 trading sessions out here. But it can get back in that overbought condition again. But right now, you've got the spot VIX below the 50, and you have the advanced decline oscillator above its zero threshold levels. Those are both bullish directional signals for the S&P 500. I'll close that chart down when we get to a breakout here. But let's move over and take a quick peek here at the equity future contracts. The reason we want to take a look at this is because we've got 3 new profiles. I went ahead and confirmed yesterday. May have been a bit of a shift in one of them, I believe, during the day. If we take a look at, so you want to jot these numbers down on your pad of paper out here. In the case of the ES Mini, you've got a profile that is formed inside the prior profile. That message there is to expect or anticipate a sideways consolidation. That's its message. It's got a TD9 count top. It should find support at 55.09. If it pulls back to that level, that's the bottom of its profile. If we're to close below the bottom of its profile, that would then tell us that price would pull back to its breakout level. That's at 53.55. And below that, then we'd be looking to move back into those April lows out there. I'm not saying that's where things are going to go. I'm saying that you got to watch the new profile out here. If we didn't have the new profile in place, what we would be looking at is a move back to the 53.55 level. In the case of the NQ, we do have a TD9 count pattern. In the case of the NQ, it also formed a new profile yesterday. It is bullish in structure, and it is bullish, period. Bullish because it's low, the new profile, well above the prior low, the center above the prior center, and the top above the prior top. So directionally speaking, profile-wise, that is, the NQ's message from its profiles are to expect and anticipate a continued bull market out there. We have had 2 days to the downside. You can see that on the very bottom panels for each of the equity future contracts. Wouldn't be a surprise to see price move higher today. We take a look at the Dow Equity Future contract. It also formed a new profile with inside the prior profile. Again, much like the ES Mini, its message is to expect or anticipate a consolidation out there. Support 40.030, resistance 41.386. The Russell 2000 also has a TD9 count top, but it did not generate a new profile. We're trading inside its older profile. It's really been around for about 6 or 7 days out here. Support at 1921, resistance up at 1999. We get back to this break. We've got a couple of requests that have come in. We'll go ahead and clean those up, and then we'll go back and shift into the intraday charts out there. Take a look at the ES Mini NQ and anything else that you'd like. Send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, or any ping inside the Tiger's Den. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got the first ticker that we're going to look at is OKLO. This is for Tony, who wrote in yesterday. Tony, thank you for waiting an extra day on this. So, and what Tony wants to do is add to his position. If you take a look at the daily time frame, it's got a nice daily TD9 count bottom. It's got a nice weekly TD9 count bottom. The monthly time frame chart, price is just trading with inside his profile, so nothing broken there. And price, most importantly, trading above its green oscillator and change line. So where do you add? I'm going to give you a couple different areas. So first, if we take a look at today's bar, this is an inside bar. An inside bar, as long as that's what it retains during the day out here, Tony, suggests that the trend that was in place prior to today will resume. That trend is to the upside. Now, you do have an A to B equals CD pattern on the daily time frame, but that requires a bearish reversal candle to confirm a sell the D point top. We don't have that as we speak, but you want to watch for that. Where do you pull back? Well, first, this is going to be maybe day one of a pullback. If you look at my bottom left-hand panel of the screen, you'll see a number of 2-bar moves to the downside. So I'm going to give you the first place to add would be tomorrow at the close with a second bar to the downside. That's if you get a second bar to the downside. Another area would be the top of its profile, 2473. The oscillator and change line, center of its profile, be another good area, 2366 to 2394, 2258 if you were to get it, which is the bottom of the profile out there. So those would be the place that you would consider adding to your position, maybe a stagger them in or what have you. But if this is going to retain its bullishness out here, it should just be a 1 or 2 day pullback. If we look at where's the resistance level? Because I want you to understand that. And if we look at the daily time frame, you'll see TD9 count breakdown resistance. That's that green horizontal line at 2980. When we look at a shift over to the weekly chart, we can see at 2938 is the weekly oscillator and change line. So it's pretty much the 2980 level. If you get a close above that, you're off to those races. Those races will take you first to 3225, the top of the monthly profile. And if you get above that, those races will take you up to 5480. So nice daily and weekly bottom patterns. The monthly looks very nice because prices trade above that green oscillator and change line. So go with that 2-day pullback out there, should in fact you get it. You've got that same question for a second instrument, IONQ. So let's go see what IONQ is doing out here and see if we can provide you with a decent review. So today is going to be maybe, yesterday was day number 2 of a pullback out there. So interesting. What do we have here? For its bottom pattern, I can see an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside, so that was confirmed. It's got a buy the D point bottom. Price has taken off. We've had 3 new profiles that have formed since then on the daily time frame. Right now, you have price that is trading with inside those profiles on a daily basis. It's a bullish structured profile, which says the buy zone is between 2683 and 2767. The buy zone between 2683 and 2767. I'm going to go with that is a place where you could add to it. You've got resistance at 3018 out there. Let's look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame shows us that its oscillator and change line has really acted as resistance out there. The price is above the top of its weekly profile, so it's kind of in no man's zone out there. If it closes back inside its profile, to do that would require a close below 2856 out there. Then that would get us down perhaps to that 2683, 2767 level. The monthly chart looks very nice. Out here, price is trading above, it's trading above its green oscillator change line, but with inside its profile, but still looks very nice out there. So it's the weekly that you're really contending with regard to any kind of a breakout, Tony, and that's going to require a close above. I'm going to use the high from just a couple of weeks ago. If you see a close above 3185, you're in good shape, and this thing's going to go ahead to 3550 next. Above 3550, you'd be looking at 4989. So was yesterday, or meaning today, the buy point out here? Maybe, but I just be patient because of what the weekly chart is doing at this moment in time. So Tony, thanks for waiting an extra day on that. Hope that helps you out. Please write back if you have any questions. We're going to go take a look at the marijuana sector, something we haven't really looked at in quite some time out here. This is for Peak G inside the Tiger's Den. So Peak, if you look at the bottom, if you look at the daily time frame chart, the first thing you're going to see is a TD9 count bottom pattern. Now let's look to the weekly chart, TD9 count bottom pattern. Now let's look to the monthly chart. And this I don't know. So the TD9 count bottom would require price to not close below 1874. Last month's close was 2157. We're 2080. So you have a TD9 count bottom for the monthly, for the weekly, and for the daily. In fact, all of us maybe ought to be looking at this is the sector now. There are a lot of instruments in this sector, or at least there used to be. So I'll have to go back and take a look at it that were just related to pot, not necessarily, the actual strains and stuff like that. So that's what, but the ETF is telling you it's got a bottom. So excellent eye there, Peak. Now you also on the daily time frame have got a TD9 count top, and the question is price going to pull back any further? Well, let's assume that this is really in a bullish market, which it should be based upon those bottom patterns there. Well, we just had a 4-day decline. In a bullish market, you don't get more than 4 consecutive days to the downside. So your entry today, I don't know how you picked it, doesn't really matter, but it matches really the cadence of the market for MJ out there. So we like that. Your resistance is going to be that TD9 count top. That TD9 count top's high is at 2253 out there. Above 2253, you've got resistance at 24 and then 2580. That is courtesy of the weekly time frame charts. Let's go take your second marijuana-oriented stock. I don't know if it's a stock or an ETF. It's GTBIF out there. I'm going to go with it's a stock. Well, it also has a TD9 count top on its daily time frame. And price ran into resistance at 692. 692 was established by the TD9 count system. So that's your stiff resistance area. The daily time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. The weekly time frame, I don't have any kind of a bottom signal. The monthly time frame, well, let me populate the chart. Might be easier if it's populated with Stevie's tools out there. There we go. And I do not see a, well, Peak is going to love this. Let me just pull this back and just make sure. All right. So Peak, today, you got to do it like right away. You got to change the name to Trough G, because on a monthly time frame, GTBIF is likely going to go ahead and confirm a Trough G move, wave number 7 to the downside. So you do have a bottom there. So back to the daily time frame. TD9 count top, price trading with inside its profile. It's a bearish structured profile. I would give you more of a preferred entry at maybe about 588. However, your entry today might really make sense. And the reason is because what did we just experience yesterday? A 2-bar pullback. So what I can share with you, just make sure you know your resistance levels are. Profile in the daily, 659. Breakdown resistance, 692. Weekly's got 664 as profile resistance. Breakdown resistance, 843. And on the monthly time frame chart, you've got resistance at about the 732 level out there. So that's your GT, BIF, and MJ. You had another one. I don't know that I got it in just yet, so I'll come back to it. But first, we're going to take a look at Mosaic. Where would Stevie have put that? He didn't get a chance to put it anywhere. Was not paying attention. Not paying attention. All right. Well, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to get Mosaic in here. We're going to get MSOS. We're going to get an Aspen. And those are what we're going to take a look at when we come back to the break. Oh, we're also going to look at Twilio for Dano inside the Tiger's Den. Be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. A little programming note, if you will. Tomorrow I'll be recording the show between 8 and 9. So please listen in live. If you've got some requests, I'd start sending emails out maybe early in the morning tomorrow so that I can grab that. And I'll be happy to look at your requests for you. If you send them out too early today, it's just going to be too hard for me to manage everything. But I will be recording the show tomorrow at between 8 and 9. We'll not be recording the show on Friday. And then the following week, I'll be recording shows, I believe, at the normal time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I will be gone Thursday and Friday and the entire following week out there, headed out to the West Coast for a wedding and some golf and some winery type stuff, if you will, some activities, Yosemite, just a whole bunch of different things out there. So please listen live, if you will, tomorrow morning between 8 and 9. That'd be great. So we're taking a look at Mosaic. MOS is the ticker symbol. And what it's going to do today, ELO, it's going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count top for its daily time frame. So what you want to do is monitor today's high at the end of the day, whatever that is. I mean, I can share with you what the high is right now. I don't know that that's the high of the day because price is traded above its green offset and change line on the top of its profile. The high of the day so far, 31.38. The reason you want to monitor today's high, let's say tomorrow we open up, we're trading above it. And if we close above it, then it tells you that we've got a TD9 count top that has failed a strong upward momentum move. Is that possible? Well, the reason why I throw that out there is we formed a TD9 count top on April the 24th. And what did that last? It really didn't even last. It was one day, if you will, that maybe traded just slightly lower out there. We took out that TD9 count top the following session. So this is very strong momentum move to the upside. By the way, it did form a TD9 count bottom pattern out there. So it's not certain that this TD9 count top on a daily time frame is going to hold. So I wouldn't take any action I wouldn't sell my position or anything along those lines. If we look at the weekly time frame, you've got price that is now above the top of its weekly profile. This will be the second consecutive weeks. Looks to me like this wants to go target at least let me pull this back just a tad. Wants to at least go target to tell you the truth, it's real over time. Its target to the upside is going to be 38.30, the TD9 count breakdown resistance area. And then on the monthly base, what you really like about Mosaic is last month, price closed above its red oscillator and change line. It's oscillator, period. I don't care what color it was, red or green. We have not seen a close above the oscillator and change line since October of 2022 out there. So last month's close above that was a bullish signal. This month, we're trading, and last month's close above the top of its monthly profile, 29.67. So ELO, you're in the right space for sure out there. And so that's what I see when I take a look at Mosaic. It looks bullish on the weekly, bullish on the monthly, and we won't really know for a couple of days on the daily time frame because of that TD9 count top. But if it did pull back, where it ought to find support is sort of where it did today, 30.08, that green oscillator and change line, or below that, it could be anywhere between the range of 28.15 to 28.98. So love these charts here. Look beautiful. Maybe you're just in for a bit of a short-term pull back out there. Let's go back and take a look at, so this is another stock, I believe, inside the marijuana sector out here. This is for Peak Trough G. He changed his name. I know he did. And we're taking a look at MSOS. And we take a look at MSOS out here. What we can see is that this, I'm not going to call it a sell the D point top out there because I'd really be forcing the A to B equals CD pattern. I'd like to force it. Don't need to. Why don't we need to, Stevie? Because what price did, it formed a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom and ran all the way up in a TD9 count breakdown resistance at 329. What more do you need to know? Well, we need to know what price has done since then. Okay, so it gets up, finds that resistance level, and starts backing off. And where it's likely headed to, this is going to be perhaps day number 3 to the downside. But we can see that the oscillator and change line just changed colors from red to green. So if you're looking peak to add to this position or get into this position, wait for price to get down and test and reject that level, which would be about 273 out there. On the weekly time frame, you got a nice TD9 count bottom. On the monthly time frame, you got a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. So definitely bottoming out here. The weekly shows that price ran to resistance at the top of its profile, and we closed just slightly above it last week, it being 296. We're back below it this week. So last week's message was not a message of a breakout, at least not just yet. It's only Wednesday out there. But I would say the better entry area, we're only talking about 14 cents out here. So I don't know if that's really a big deal to you or not. But price ought to pull back. You'd love to see a test and rejection of oscillator and change line when it has changed colors. Definitely. So that's what's going on with regard to MSOS. So thanks for even bringing that up and allowing us to really kind of take a look at the sector, generally speaking. Let's go take a look at Aspen out here. It's not really Aspen. ASPN is a ticker symbol out there. So let's go take a look at it. Maybe it is Aspen. I just can't remember what it is. And on my Ninja Trader charts, unfortunately, I can't pull up the name of the instrument that easily. So we take a look at ASPN. It's got a nice TD9 count bottom for its daily time frame. No idea what bottom it formed, if any, on its weekly time frame. And the monthly is likely going to go ahead and form a TD9 count bottom pattern at the end of the month. So now let's get back to the daily time frame. What we have in the daily time frame is prices taking on profile resistance out here, dude. And that profile resistance, the top. Again, the top of the profile, you've sort of understood that. 564 is the number. We're trading at 567. You'd like to see 2 consecutive closes above 564. Why is that? Well, because it tells us about a real breakout above resistance. Doesn't mean it can't fail, but it increases the probability. And that's really what it's all about, is just trying to master the probability out here. And that would then give you a probability of price moving up to 706, the TD9 count breakdown level out there. So that's a daily time frame. The resistance that you've got on the weekly, and the beautiful thing here about the weekly, as I say, I didn't see a bottom pattern, but what do we see? Well, we see that price is now trading above its oscillator and change line. The last time we had that was September 27th of 2024. So a long period of time. We're back above that. That's a positive. Now what you need is the next positive. And the next positive would be getting back inside its profile. The bottom, which is 613. So you got resistance at 613, then you have resistance at 713 and 706, and then on the weekly chart you have resistance at 813 as well. So it looks pretty good. ASPN, your question was, did it bottom? It's got the daily bottom. It's got the weekly bottom only from the standpoint of closing above that oscillator and change line, but you really need to see this get inside the profile, and the monthly is very likely going to go ahead and form a TD9 count top. The high, it formed a TD9 count bottom, that is. It did form a TD9 count top, and it was on bar number 8. Maybe the reverse is in order here. That I don't know. So hope that helps you out, dude. Dano inside the Tiger's Den would like to take a look at Twilio out here. TWLO is the ticker symbol. So let's get its charts up on our screen out here. TWLO is trading out right now at 102.87. It's got a TD9 count top, and price is taking on its TD9 count breakdown resistance area. 103.49. So what you really need to see here, Dano, is a close above the TD9 count high. And that number is going to be 105.71. If you get a close above 105.71, you're back off to the races. Now, the problem is the races have got a short-term pit stop. And that pit stop is around 106.74. 106.74 is its oscillator and change line. That means it's really not 106.70. It's 106 and change. Maybe it's 90. Maybe it's 107.01. I don't know. But you want to see price close above that green oscillator and change. I know. TD9 count bottom on the daily. TD9 count bottom on the weekly. You've got I don't know what you got on the monthly chart. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll finish looking at Twilio as soon as we get back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at TWLO, Twilio out here. What more can I really add to what we just shared with you? Not really a whole lot that I see, quite frankly. So you're watching to see if pricing clear that TD9 count top on the daily time frame, and then you're going to start dealing with the resistance on the weekly, 106.77, as I say, 112.87, 126.84 out there. And the monthly is set to run. Monthly is set to run to the 123 level out there. So beautiful. You know, this really should be in a bullish mood. We take a look at 8, 9, 10 consecutive days to the upside out there. Strong like bull. So, it's due to take a little bit of a breather here, which is really what it's done. It hasn't even, yesterday was the completion of the TD9 count top. And today we're actually trading a bit higher out there. So this thing is very strong. But Dano, you didn't need Stevie to tell you that out there. Let's go to our next request, which is from Dan inside the Tiger's Den. Dan wanted to take a look at natural gas. So let's go pull up the intraday natural gas charts out here. So let's go do that. Let's review that. That should be right here. So we take a look at natural gas. As I mentioned earlier, if you look at the daily time frame is in bar number 8 today. But the bar that's made the high so far is bar number 6. And as long as that high doesn't get poked above tomorrow, or the next day, you may get a TD9 count, but you won't have a TD9 count top. If price does poke above the high from bar number 6 2 days ago, that high, by the way, is at 3.747, then we may, in fact, get a TD9 count top. The reason I say may is because I don't know where the bars are going to be closing. Today's bar needs to be above the close of bar number 5. Tomorrow's bar is going to be above the close of bar number, today's close is going to be the close above bar number 4. Tomorrow would be a close above bar number 5 out there, to form that pattern. But what Dan is looking for is he's looking for a top. He's actually looking for a 30-minute A to B equals CD pattern. Now, if we take a look at this A to B equals CD pattern, I'm on board with you now with regard to what you selected. So thanks for putting that information in there for me. And it does have a price projection around the 368 level. What I would caution you on a little bit is that this is probably a 0.382 retracement, or maybe not even. If it's not a 0.382 retracement, then I caution about whether that's really the A to B equals CD pattern. In fact, so I don't know, Dan, is it a 0.382 retracement? I have my other system open, so I can't measure that. Let's just say that it is, or it's close to it. Then odds favor that this would do more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. So I wouldn't say that the sell area would necessarily be 368. Instead, I'd be looking back here where we have a prior sell or a prior top, which is back at 8 o'clock in the morning on May the 5th out there. That was that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. And I would think more likely that would be where the A to B equals CD pattern would take us. We're traded above the screen oscillator and change line. We're traded above profile resistance at this stage out here. So the 30-minute is suggesting that it should rally further. But if you're looking for tops, well, we already have some intraday tops. So, for example, The 2-hour time frame is going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top in 14 minutes. Now, again, that pattern will complete on the next 2-hour bar. So it says by 2 p.m., Dan, to the extent that you're looking to go short, you don't need that 30-minute chart out there. You can use the 2-hour time frame chart and use this TD9 count system. If I take a look at the 5-hour time frame chart, it did top with a TD9 count top, and then price pulled back. Why did it find support where it did? I don't know the answer to that, although it was yesterday's, was it yesterday's low? Let me just see here. That was on the 2 o'clock. That was, that was yesterday's low out there. So why did it bottom? Well, I'd say it bottomed because of that 2-day pullback that we saw in natural gas, right? Just understanding the cadence out there. I don't have that present on this chart, but I believe we did see that on another chart out there. So in the case of the NQ, to kind of go along with your 2-hour time frame TD9 count top, you can see that price is trading into a resistance zone, a sell zone between 364 and 368 out there. Otherwise, other things of note, of interest on the for natural gas on its intraday charts, you'd say would be the 60-minute time frame chart, which formed a TD9 count bottom, rallied right up into TD9 count breakdown resistance. Is testing that as we speak right now as well. Price remained above that green oscillator and change line out there. So if you close above 365 out there, you're likely headed higher. Where to? Well, at 368 is the top of that 5-hour profile. So that's the overview of those intraday charts out there. And then how I would also try to put this together with regard to that short-term time frame top is what's going on a daily basis. Is there any kind of a topping signal? I would make the case that yesterday was the C point of an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside out here. So if we take a look at the question, I haven't gone back and taken a look at it, see if that was a 0.382 retracement. But if it was, that tells us that what we are likely doing inside of natural gas is going to get up towards the $4.26 level. That's its TD9 count breakdown area. So I hope that review, at least my review intraday, I think it's an honest review out there. I always like to look at it no matter whether I'm in a position or not. I hope that review does help you out. And as always, thanks so much for your request. LB writes in, he's got a question of buy, sell, or hold. So let's pull up his instrument, which is TDUP. Don't know what it is, but it's had a heck of a day. It's had a heck of a week. It's had a pretty good couple of months out there. So now we take a look at it. Yesterday was 2 days ago was a TD9 count top. Yesterday was the immediate negation of that. Is negation the word? It is now. So that tells you about a strong upward momentum move. Big, strong upward momentum move out there. When I look at the weekly time frame chart, holy shnikes. This thing has been a gigantic upward momentum move for over a month out there. You're trading above everything. Weekly oscillator and change line profile resistance out here. It looks like a party inside of TD UP. You've got an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, so I don't need to write that in or type that in. If you were to see a bearish reversal candle on a weekly basis, then you would have a top. Let's populate the monthly time frame chart for TDUP. You're in bar number 6. You're in number 5, month number 5 to the upside out there. So this is just a strong move. So your question was buy, sell, or hold. Sell is off the table. Hold is totally on the table. Do you buy? You know, so to buy on this thing, you got to jump into the deep end of the pool and hold your nose. What I'd rather you do for the buy or add is I'd rather you do that on a 2-day pullback out there. Maybe today is day number 1. Don't know. And we have seen a few 2-bar pullbacks. I look at the very bottom panel of the chart out here, LB. So I'm going to go with this. It's a buy after a 2 consecutive day pullback out there. Otherwise, it looks like TD, whatever this thing is, it wants to continue to motor on. Let's see if I've got any other requests that have come in. Nothing else by email. I don't know that there's anything else inside the Tiger's Den, although yesterday was 0.382. Slightly more. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Google. Somebody's selling Google. So let's just put up the Google charts on our screen. Out here, Dash. We'll take a look at Dash for you. Let's take a quick peek at Google. So if we take a look at Google, Google's trading below its daily oscillator and change line, which is red. That suggests lower price. It's trading below profile support out here. So what's the weekly time frame chart showing us? A weekly time frame chart shows us that price is trading inside its swing point, its TD9 count bottom swing point. That was week of April 11th. The volume on that candle was 139 million shares. We're basically halfway through the trading week. We're at 50 million shares. 50 million going into 187. It is light in its loafers out there. So it's pulling back, but hey, look, it's below support. And so that can continue to move lower out there, but it does have light volume. We come back from this break, we're going to look at Dash for ELO inside the Tiger's Den. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking DoorDash out here. I believe it's DoorDash. DASH is the ticker symbol, which went ahead and completed its TD9 count top yesterday. And today it's trading below its bullish structure daily profile, closed below 185.60 at day's end is not a good thing. But more importantly, it's trading below its breakout level at 180.06. So you want to watch 180.06 at day's end. Maybe that's going to hold the support. I don't know. If it does close below it today and it closes below 180.06 tomorrow, that's telling us about a further move lower. Now, price is trading into a swing point that takes us back to April the 21st. And that swing point on a daily time frame did volume of 3.6 million. You're trading into into it with 3.4 million and only 2.5 hours of trading out there. So if price does close below 180.11, you're going to see a move, or you should see a move down to 168.95. Well, if it does that, it's going to get into its swing point from back on April the 7th. And April 7th, it had volume of 7.7 million shares. And you're getting pretty close to that. Again, today's volume is 3.4 million shares. So if you do close by any chance below today, 175.99, what Dash is going to do, it's going to take a dash all the way down to probably the low of the April 7th area out there. If we look at the weekly time frame chart is trading below profile support. That doesn't matter on a Wednesday. It matters on a Friday. Well, if we close below 181.06 on Friday, you've then broken through profile support. On a weekly basis, the swing point is trading into is April the 11th, 28 million shares. So far for the week, we've done 18 million shares. So we're sort of, let's say, halfway through the week. That's like 36 million if that volume were to keep up. We're going in against, 28? So you're pushing into swing points with volume out there with regard to a dash. So the next area of support really comes into play on the monthly time frame, and that's going to be between a level of 159.49 and 168.79 out there. That's what I see when I take a DoorDash. Folks, please stay tuned for all the great programming, and join me tomorrow. We're going to have tea and crumpets. And we're going to have Dunkin' Donuts. I know Steve inside the Tigers Den, he's going to bring the Dunkin' Donuts, and we're going to start that show at about, I think it's about 8:06 a.m. Folks, have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. We'll see you soon.